All right. I don't know what happened to the last stream, but we're back. Wait a minute. Now the picture's too big? That's weird. That's weird. Very, very weird. Let's go, baby. Here we go. If you're joining us right now, welcome. We are live streaming all of the games going on right now. The Colts with the ball driving down the field. The Jaguars responded with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Trevor Lawrence is on the 35-yard line, his own, and they're going to pitch it here. Etienne hits a hole, has a blocker, and almost takes it to the house into San Francisco territory. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are being physical. They're running the football. They have a 80-yard touchdown earlier today with Etienne. They are just pounding the football down the 49ers' throat. And there's nothing that the 49ers can do about it. The Ravens, man, we've been wondering what's going on with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson just has not been playing very great football lately. And now the Chiefs with a chance to go up 27. Let's see, 27-10. Pacheco takes the handoff into Baltimore territory, and it's 20-10. 20-10. Now, what happened? I had earlier my screen. Let me see. There it is. There it is. Now you guys can see the scores. And I got my fantasy football open. Man, how are you guys doing on your fantasy football? Let me know in the chat if you're winning your fantasy football. If you're losing, let me know in the chat. Mahomes in shotgun. 13 minutes, 20 seconds. Mahomes, clean pocket, throws, caught. And that is Xavier Worthy. Let's go. I started him fantasy. I need Xavier Worthy to get in the end zone. Come on, Worthy. They get one-on-one on the outside, and Mahomes stands in the pocket. They do a good job of keeping it clean, and he delivers a ball to his best receiver that he's just happy to have back. 1st and 10. We're going to hand the ball off to Pacheco for a gain of 3. 18 yards on the ground. And that should tell you a lot about this game. And now we saw Detroit dominate the Ravens offensive line last week. Defensively, they had 6 sacks? The Baltimore Ravens gave up 6 sacks. They've already given up, I think, 2 sacks in this game. And you were wondering, okay, what's going on? They're getting bullied on the offensive line, but it's more than that. You're seeing the Ravens get bullied on the defensive line as well. Caught Thornton, Tyquan Thornton, who I said yesterday, he's going to break out. He's going to break out. He's somebody that you should add to your fantasy football roster. And Tyquan Thornton with the touchdown here, 27-10. The Chiefs are starting to take over this game. The Chiefs are starting to take over. And really, how are they going to respond? That's the big question here. How are the Ravens going to respond? Because they're going to need a hell of a response here. Here we go. And we have to update the ticker because of Tyquan Thornton. Also, the Bears just got a touchdown. The Bears are now on top, 16. So I don't know about the injury. Tyreek Stevenson got an interception on the Raiders' opening drive. He ends up getting hurt on the interception when he tried to run it back. I think it was on the hit he took while running it back. So I don't know if he is going to be back in this game. I'll give you an update on him as soon as I get it. But Tyreek Stevenson forced the fumble last week, and now he's got an interception this week. So Bears fans really like what they see from Tyreek Stevenson here the last couple of days. And we got the ticker updated. There we go. There we go. And come on. Almost got it. There we go. There we go. All right. We got Tyler Sperry in the chat. He said, Goodwin first week back, 10 targets. They had no choice. They had no choice. They were down big in that game. But definitely a healthy sign from Chris Godwin. And that was what I was saying the other day was, I don't know if that was yesterday or the day before, but I was like, they don't have the luxury of kind of easing Chris Godwin back. Like they're going to have to go to him often. And in a perfect world, he wouldn't have been thrown in to the game like that, but they had no choice. No McMillan, no Evans. You're down big. Here's an updated ticker for you guys. Godwin is back. You love to see it. Now, are the Ravens back? Because the Ravens have been off the last couple of days. Derrick Henry, powerful run, big time hit by Cook. 2nd and 5. Here's Caleb Williams throwing it to Rome Odunze, touchdown. I knew that was coming. I had the anytime touchdown. I swear, I set up these 8-leg parlays. If I just was a millionaire and I could just put $10,000 on each thing, I would be 7 for 8. I had an 8-leg parlay. The only touchdown I didn't get was David Montgomery. And I meant to go Jahmyr Gibbs. I didn't even mean for it to be David Montgomery. But, okay. So the only touchdown I need, Jonathan Taylor, Puka Nacua, DeAndre Swift. Puka Nacua, Jonathan Taylor. That should, Puka Nacua is going to get in the end zone. Here we go. And caught Rashad Bateman into Chiefs territory. First down, and the Ravens are on the move. They wouldn't put 10 targets on his back if he wasn't ready. So definitely a good sign. Definitely a good sign. Rashad Bateman able to come up with a big play. The Ravens, I mean, obviously you're trying to get back in this game. You got to score quick, but you also have to remember that there's plenty of time. You don't need to make a dumb mistake. Chiefs going all out blitz, and a great job by Lamar of hanging in the pocket and getting the ball to Zay Flowers for a first down. And the Ravens going tempo here. And they're going to hand it off. Derrick Henry, 15 yards. 4 points of contact with that football. He has been struggling with fumbling. Everybody knows it. Here we go. Lamar under center. Handoff. Derrick Henry. He's going to be a yard short here. Third and a long one. You guys know about that. Here we go. Packers. I got a 50% profit boost for the Packers game tonight. We're going to build that live on the air after these 4:15, 4 o'clock games. Here we go. 80,000. What is there? 72,000 seating capacity at Arrowhead. Here we go. They got a QB spy on Lamar. Lamar stepping up, trying to. Nope, he is just not getting away from it this year. We are not used to seeing Lamar get tackled from behind. He's so twitchy that it's like every time you think you got him, and then he just pulls away from you, and you're like, how did he do that? And this season, you're seeing, okay, I'm going to step him in the pocket. I'm going to run away, but then he doesn't actually get away. He goes down. It's something we're not used to seeing, and I think last week when people said maybe Lamar, he's still special, he's still a special talent, but maybe the days of him just being able to run away from everybody, maybe those days are coming to an end. I guess he's still better than 98% of quarterbacks, like, of course, but maybe he's hitting that age where he's just not able to do some of this stuff that we're used to. And I thought, well, that seems like an overreaction a little bit. But now, after another week of seeing Lamar, what has he got? 4 sacks? I mean, we're talking 10 sacks in the last 2 games. 10 sacks in the last 6 days. We also have to keep in mind that they're on a short week and they're in Arrowhead, and I get it. But at the same time, I'm really starting to wonder about this offensive line and the defensive line for the Ravens. I mean, they have amazing weapons, an amazing secondary. You brought in Jair Alexander to help out. He's been on the injury report, but you have Kyle Hamilton. You got on the offense, Derrick Henry. I think Bateman's a decent weapon. Zay Flowers, their first Pro Bowl wide receiver in 23 years was Zay Flowers. They got other guys in the backfield that I wouldn't say they're really good, but they're guys. I'm blanking on his name right now. The shifty guy. Hill, I believe. Justice Hill. Yeah. And they got Keaton Mitchell. I think we've even seen some of Ali. Let me see. Ravens offensive line PFF. Ravens offensive line. based on PFF, okay? Let's see, draft year, roster. Let's go centers. Let's go tackles for the Ravens. All. It's not giving me what I want. PF Baltimore Ravens 4 days ago. Here it is. NFL offensive line rankings ahead of week 4. Top 5. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And a return that goes to midfield. And just like that, that field goal that the Ravens kicked is 15 to 20 yards more away from being wiped off the scoreboard. A good stiff arm, but also a good job by, I think his name's Tyler Loop, the kicker that's taken over for the great Justin Tucker. And, he saved a potential touchdown here. But now the Chiefs starting at midfield. Kelsey comes out, going in motion. Mahomes, quick throw to Kelsey. And that's just zone right there. You see Kelsey run out. He comes back in. Nobody's following him. Mahomes goes, they're in zone. Snaps the ball, throws it immediately to Kelsey. Gains 6-7 yards. That's too easy. Ravens have to make it a little difficult on this offense. And they love to stay in zone. And people that play the Ravens, they love being in zone. Diamond nickel packages with 5 and 6 defensive backs on the field at the same time. But people actually have the most success against the Ravens when they're in man. But you take a chance of getting burned. And this is what adding Xavier Worthy back onto the field does. Because if you don't feel like you have a guy that can go stride for stride with Xavier Worthy, it limits what you can do, right? You don't want to send the safety. You don't want to send extra blitzers and not have any help over the top. Xavier Worthy, here he is in the backfield, and they're going to hand it off to Hunt, who picks up on 3rd and 2, picks up 7. And that right there, I mean, just taking Xavier Worthy and bringing him around as if you're going to do a wide receiver wraparound. His speed is so elite that the linebackers, they have to freeze until they see, is this going to Worthy or is this going to Hunt? And if you can freeze them for just a second and they're playing 7 yards deep, it's 3rd and 2, you're going to pick up that first down. That's a really smart play call for a 3rd and 2. And they're going to just run it again, and they pick up 2. But that's what Xavier Worthy does. It's not just his ability as a receiver, which the Kansas City Chiefs definitely needed since he's been gone, even with Tyquan Thornton stepping up and getting, mediocre, maybe above mediocre play from some other guys like Juju. But overall, they had no replacement for Xavier Worthy. Now, keep in mind, Tyquan Thornton, he did run a 4.32 40-yard dash. Fastest 40s in 2022. And here's Juju Smith on 2nd and 9 for a 12-yard pitch and catch. Just a little zone busting slant. Just feeling the soft spot. And it really does look like the Chiefs got their swagger back. The players are celebrating together. This might be one of those breakout games for the Chiefs. where they're never the same after this week. Right back to Juju Smith, and now he's almost to the 10-yard line. And if they score again, the Ravens are in big trouble. Just a quick throw to Juju Smith, and this is kind of what the Chiefs have been doing on this drive. They run a play, and they have a lot of success running it. They run it again. I mean, they just threw it to Juju Smith, had a bunch of success. Let's go right back to him and run the football for a gain of 2 as we go under 3 minutes here in the third. But I think if you're watching this game as an NFL fan or a Chiefs fan, you're I guess I don't want to say if you're not a Chiefs fan, you're probably not happy. But if you're a Chiefs fan, you're looking at this game and you're happy that your offense seemingly has a pulse again. And if you're a Ravens fan, you're really worried. Like, why does everybody look so good against us? It doesn't matter which team we play, we keep giving up 30, 40 points. And this is going to be a flag on Kansas City. I'm hoping Xavier Worthy can get in the end zone because I need it for my fantasy football. Illegal formation. Illegal formation. What's going on? Let's go. You can't have Kelsey and Brown on the line of scrimmage. Here we go. Mahomes. Oh, he's going to get flagged for that. He went past the line of scrimmage. He went past the line of scrimmage and stepped back and threw it. That is the point of no return. Obviously, Mahomes didn't know he went past the line of scrimmage. So it is a loss of down. It's also a 5-yard penalty. I mean, yeah, he went 2 yards past the line of scrimmage and then threw it. I mean, would have been, I know hindsight, but, you know, if he would have slid down, he still would have gained 3 yards, an 8-yard flip. Now it's 3rd and 19. Hit Xavier Worthy on a skinny slant, skinny post. Xavier Worthy, skinny post. Man coverage. Here we go. Mahomes stepping back. And they're going to throw it to Juju Smith, who, almost able to pick up enough yards to make this a decision. But instead, they're going to go ahead and kick the field goal, wipe out the field goal the Ravens kick, and pretty much throw the third quarter in the scratch department. And the Ravens, they need to have a big fourth quarter, right? Still plenty of time. All they got to do is let's just make sure they make this kick first. Ooh, almost blocked, but now it's a 17-point lead. So a quick score is necessary. A quick score. I definitely need a quick score here. And we're going to update the ticker because we got a lot of scoring updates. For one, the Raiders are back on top. The Raiders are back on top. And here we go. Upload recent 540. Trying to. There we go. Come on. All right, let's see. We got 1,116 by 75. 1,116. 1,116. Cooper Rush is warming up. Wow. Cooper Rush is coming out. Lamar, what happened? Lamar's hurt? Oh my gosh. Great. They just benched. I needed this. Damn it. Cooper. Damn, I really, really needed Lamar to have a big game. What is going on? It's a hamstring injury. Man. That just makes this game almost unwatchable. See what's going on in the other one's extra point for the Rams is good. So they got a touchdown. Puka Nakua got a touchdown. Wow. All tied up at SoFi. Can't believe Lamar Jackson's out. So he's only going to get me 15 points. And I need Xavier Worthy, Christian McCaffrey, or Jonathan Taylor to do something special. Ricky Pearsall only 8 points today. Come on. All right, so all I need, what is this? I have a 2000. What was the big one? Puka Nakua touchdown, Rome Dunze. So I just need DeAndre Swift and Jonathan Taylor to score. Is it the fourth quarter? Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift. Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift. Let's go to the Colts, or the 49ers and the Jags. That game has proven to be worthy of a visit. Shit. Here we go. All right, we got 49ers game. All right. So the Indianapolis Colts taking over. What is this? The 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line. We're still at a commercial with the Chiefs and the Ravens. Trying to see what's going on here with the Colts game. Here we go. Oh, wow. A holding call that gives them a Colts an automatic first down. Two minutes, 25 seconds left in this game. A game that looks like it's headed to potential overtime. Daniel Jones, though, at midfield with 2 minutes and 25 seconds and all 3 timeouts. Here's going to be a handoff to Jonathan Taylor, who stays on his feet, and he's going 30, 20, 10, touchdown. Let's go. There's a flag. Please don't be on the Colts. Please don't be on the Colts. It's coming back. Of course it's coming back. Come on. Oh, my God. Come on. Oh, come on. Daniel Jones launching it. Incomplete. Had to throw it high enough so it couldn't get undercut and intercepted, but just outside the reach of Michael Pittman. And man, that was just such a great run. It sucks that that play is going to be taken off the highlight reel. Man, he broke 6 tackles, and a holding penalty is going to erase that memory for a lot of people. Here's 2nd and 15. Pressure. Ball's out. Recovered by the Colts, but 2-minute warning, and it's 3rd and very long. Jared Verse. Jared Verse, my defensive player of the year. Wow. All right. All right. I take you to the 49ers game with 9 minutes, 17 seconds left. 12-point lead for Jacksonville, 3rd and 5 for Brock Purdy and the 49ers, who just need to get a touchdown to make this a game. 3rd and 5. Jacksonville 2-1. Still trying to figure out what kind of team they are this year. A win on the road against an undefeated team would be a step in the right direction. Can they hold on? Purdy has time. Caught. And that's going to be good for a 1st down. Brock Purdy hung in there and able to stay in the pocket and keep his eyes downfield. That's exactly what you want out of your quarterback. You don't want your quarterback bailing out of the pocket, giving up on the play when there's a lot of football left. And Hat on Fire, we do Pizza Sunday every single Sunday. It's a family thing. We make the dough from scratch. My uncle's got a recipe. It was his grandma's recipe. It's a whole thing. All right, another 1st down. This time it was Kyle Juszczyk. I thought the 49ers released Kyle Juszczyk. I was shocked when they did it. I remember being shocked. Did they re-sign him? Oh my gosh, I can't believe Jonathan Taylor. I can't believe Jonathan Taylor's run was. Uh-oh. Touchdown. And it's Jake Tongues. Jonathan Taylor picks up 11 on 3rd and 28. And now the Colts are going to punt it to the Rams and hope they can get a stop on defense. Now here was just a screen to Jake Tongues that goes for 25 yards and a touchdown, and it brings the 49ers back within striking distance. 21-6 now. Let's see. Let's go to that Chiefs game. All right. Kansas City scored. Who scored? And Wiggins going to the locker room with a shoulder injury. He's somebody that I worried about size-wise. Very skinny guy, very lanky. I was wondering if he had the durability to play in the NFL. I believe this is the first injury I can recall right now. Puka Nacua, third receiver all-time with 8+ catches in each of his first 4 games of the season. Unbelievable. Actually, it is believable. Rams going deep. Caught. Goodbye. Tutu Atwell. See you later. Thank you very much. In the Rams, with a minute and 40 seconds left, say, we can do it in 7. 7 points in 7 seconds. And this place is going crazy. Matthew Stafford's running around, high-fiving. This is a fired-up crowd. And now, with a minute 33 seconds and all 3 timeouts, the Rams, their defense is going to be responsible for holding off this explosive Colts offense and sealing the deal. Here's an extra point, very important extra point here. Snap, hold, kick is good. And it's 27-20. Will the Rams be able to hold off this Colts offense? And you just go back to the holding call on Adonai Mitchell, and it's a killer, man. A 55-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Taylor comes off the board, and you just got to be kicking yourself. Now, who got the last touchdown for Kansas City? In a drop by Zay Flowers on 3rd and 3, and that's just the kind of day it is for Baltimore. It is 37-13. They are getting humiliated. They're being embarrassed. They're getting exposed. A national audience. No Derrick Henry, no Lamar Jackson. They decided to wave a white flag in a game where you go for a touchdown and it's a 17-point game. I've seen a lot of crazy shit happen. It's a 3-possession game. It's a 3-possession game with the whole quarter left. You can't give up on your game. And you're just going to have to throw it to Zay Flowers, who picks up the first down. An amazing play right there. You ever look at a play like that one and say, if that wasn't 4th and 4, the quarterback wouldn't have made that throw. But because of how important it was, the adrenaline kicks in and it allowed him to make that play right there. And I think the best players in the NFL, they have a way of replicating that adrenaline without it actually being 4th down. They make those plays on 2nd down. They make those plays on 3rd down. They're just always in that do or die mindset, which can be dangerous for a gunslinger. Here we go. And we're going to start off with a 10-yard run. Or not a run, but a dump off to Jonathan Taylor for 9 yards. It's 2nd and 1. They got to go no huddle. They have 3 timeouts. Looking. Firing. Caught. Out of bounds goes Adonai Mitchell, the man that cost them the touchdown. Back to the Ravens game. Here is a screen to Hill. He picks up 5, bounces out of bounds. Jaguars huddling up at midfield. 1 minute left in the Rams-Colts game. Do the Colts have one more magical moment in them? They had the leverage penalty against Denver. Uh-oh. There's a flag. It's going to be a false start. All right, here we go. 1 minute to go. Ball snapped. Looking. Taking a shot deep downfield. Intercepted. Rams win. Well, they have 3 timeouts, so. And the Jaguars running the ball with ETN. Fourth and 5, and the Chiefs get a stop. First and 10. The Jaguars are rolling. Now, the 49ers hold them to a field goal, and it's still an 8-point game. So, ETN takes another corner on this team, 10-yard gain, but there's a flag on the play. And golly, Daniel Jones, you gotta get a stop here. And they give up 6-7 yards on first down to Kyren Williams. Brian Thomas Jr. gets called on holding on the 10-yard rush. That wasn't holding. There was no holding on that play. Where is there holding? That was not holding. Terrible call. Backs up the Jaguars now to a 1st and 15. That couldn't have been holding because it was a 5-yard penalty. Oh, Trevor Lawrence trying to get it to Washington just outside of his reach. Jacksonville, I like the urgency they're playing with. Trevor Lawrence is, if you were watching this game and you didn't see the score, you would think Jacksonville's losing right now. And that is the exact type of urgency you need to play with to seal a win on the road like this. So I like the mindset. Keep your foot on the gas. Here's Trevor Lawrence in shotgun. Going to motion his tight end back. They're going to hand it off, and they're going to pick up 4 yards on the ground. Tootin looking for a scootin'. Meanwhile, the Rams picked up a first down, so now they will take a knee. That game is over. Final score, 27-20. The Rams hand the Colts their first loss of the season, and a disappointing ending. Adonai Mitchell, it's going to be a quiet locker room because Adonai Mitchell cost the team the game, man. And Crafty said he cost him a total of 14 points, which that's crazy. Isn't it weird seeing Robert Saleh as a defensive coordinator? It's just like, after being a head coach, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like seeing your dad bagging groceries. It's an honorable job. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's just, there's something about it that hurts you a little bit inside. Maybe I'm the only one. that feels that way, seeing Robert Saleh back with the 49ers as a coordinator. And by the way, I'm not throwing shade at anyone that bags groceries. 17, 16, 15, snap, hold, kick is missed. He missed it. Still a 5-point lead. Jacksonville couldn't make a 40-something yard field goal to make it a 9-point game. That is a killer. That is a killer. Did Christian McCaffrey? Let's see. Is that normal for local TV to only show one football game? Oh, here we go. The Niners are alive. Here we go. Quick throw. Christian McCaffrey. San Francisco keeping their foot on the gas. It's got to be a big play to Christian McCaffrey coming up. Just looking at my fantasy score, I think my fantasy points are ahead. Why is Ricky Pearsall on the freaking sideline? Is Ricky Pearsall hurt? Oh my God, ball's out. Recovered by Jacksonville. Oh my gosh. Ball is out. Wow. 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 What happened to Ricky Pearsall? Why is Ricky Pearsall not? Did Ricky Pearsall get hurt? All right. Quick stop in the backfield. San Francisco will not go easy into that dark night. They will rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light. And here they go. Timeout taken after tackling ETN for a 2-yard loss. And the 49ers know what they need to do. Ricky Pearsall still on the sideline. So I don't know. Oh my gosh, Ricky Pearsall is so damn good. He's questionable to return with a knee. He was testing his knee during the break. Here we go. Biggest third down of the game for Jacksonville. Biggest third down in the game from Jacksonville. 3rd and 5. Lawrence, first down. That's going to seal the game. That's the game. Jacksonville wins 26-21. My upset right on the money. I called this last night. Jacksonville was going to win this game, and it wasn't a fluke. They didn't win this game because they got lucky or because the ball bounced their way. They won this game because they out-physicaled the 49ers. It's the same thing with Kansas City. It was a dominating performance by the Chiefs. You know, they're up 37-13. Are we even seeing the starters for the Chiefs in? It's what? No, we're seeing Gardner Minshew, which is even better. 37-13. Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy gets sacked from behind, fumbles the ball, and Jacksonville wins the game because of it. This is going to be a wild week 1 to recap here. No touchdown by DeAndre Swift. No touchdown by Jonathan Taylor, which Jonathan Taylor, man, he had that touchdown, man. He had it. And the Bears are knocking on the door right now. Thanks for the heads up. Let's see if let's go. Bears are knocking on the door right now. Let's go. Touchdown score. Next play. Let's see, Jackson. Let's see. The only bets available on the Bears game right now is the Bears to win the game. Let's go. Bears to win. Let's go Bears. We just put a bet in on the Bears to pull this one out. Let's see if they can do it. Here we go. We're at a commercial break right now. All they need is a touchdown. I'm projected 118 points now. I have 105 points. The guy I'm playing has 123. If I got 30 points from Troy Franklin, I would have 135. And if we absolutely shut down Chase Brown to the point where he has no points, because Xavier Worthy is out, Christian McCaffrey's done, Ricky Pearsall's done, Lamar. It's not even fair. I lost my fantasy this week because Lamar Jackson decided to play half of the game. That's such a lame-ass way to lose. The good news is Xavier Worthy's back, and my team's going to be a problem moving forward. The other good news is there was nobody on my bench that outperformed my starters. I benched TJ Hawkinson in favor of Dalton Kincaid, Kincaid got me 9.8. Hawkinson got me 7.9. I'm disappointed with both of them, but at least one of them was able to get me more points, and that was the one I started. Um, Ricky Pearsall, disappointing game, but he's also hurt. So Lamar Jackson and Ricky Pearsall are both guys that I feel really good about, but they just didn't play a full, complete game. Christian McCaffrey got me 26 points. Jonathan Taylor had a 50-yard rushing touchdown wiped off the board. That would have put him to 20 points. I would have probably won if that touchdown would have stood. So I think a lot of things, had to go wrong for my team in order to finally lose, which is a great sign moving forward. And I think moving forward, I'm looking at this team like this is going to be a tough team week in and week out. Lamar Jackson, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor. And I still got a commercial on that Bears game. I made the right call with benching. I benched the defense, the Packers defense for Houston. Wow, Hill scores a touchdown. Justice Hill goes 71 yards. Justice Hill, 71-yard rushing touchdown. We got Jake said, I'm that needed to be here, damn it. I'm that needed to be here. I'm that needed to be here, damn it. I don't get it. We need to get Rick on here if Bears score a tutty. Oh, Rick's coming on if they score. He's coming on. I need that to be Henry. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, dude, you and me and everybody else, this was a really crappy day. I mean, Ricky Pearsall has been somebody that I was like banking on since week 1. I traded Mike Evans because I had Ricky Pearsall on my bench, and everyone said, he's not going to do anything. He's been one of the best wide receivers through the first 4 weeks. He goes out with injury. We get Lamar Jackson. He goes out, plays only half of the football game. My kicker got 0 points today. Tennessee's kicker, 0 points. Not a point. So frustrating. All right. Bears going for 2 here after the touchdown. Let's see who ended up with the touchdown. Let's see. Swift, of course. Jonathan Taylor, if Jonathan Taylor would have, if there wasn't holding, I would have won $400. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Tyler Warren, Rome Odunze, and DeAndre Swift all got a touchdown. The only one I missed was Jonathan Taylor because his 55-yard rushing touchdown was called back for holding. That's awesome. $450 gone because of a bullshit hold. Caleb Williams steps up on the 2-point conversion, intercepted. Kind of. They're going to call it incomplete, 25-24. And now the Raiders have 2 timeouts in 1:34 to kick a field goal. Yeah, I'm so mad about that. I wasn't that mad when DeAndre Swift and Jonathan Taylor didn't have a touchdown, but now that DeAndre Swift ended up getting one, I'm really mad. That was the longest rushing touchdown in the NFL this season. 71 yards. Pretty weird. They're not even trying the onside kick. Baltimore is like, just let us go home. It's 17-point game. Let's see if NFL. I'm trying to see if NFL Game Day. Crazy to think the Ravens could legitimately miss the playoffs after losing a week 1 game where they were up 40 to 24, 40 to 24 with 3 minutes left in the game, and the Ravens end up losing that game. And you're thinking, well, it took a miracle for the Buffalo Bills to beat this team. They still might be the best team in the NFL. Yeah, the defense thing worried you, but you're like, look, it took a miracle. But then week 2 comes around and Baltimore annihilates Cleveland, right? They mop the floor with them. Lamar has like 4 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. They win, they score 40. And then week 3 comes around and they have a Monday night football game against the Detroit Lions. The Lions, for the first time this year, we saw the Lions just dominate the Ravens. For the first time this year, we saw the Ravens get dominated by an opponent. That hadn't been the case until Monday. There hasn't been even a full week since we got this new data that this Baltimore Ravens team had it was possible they could be dominated. We didn't know that until 6 days ago. And now this game happens. And in 6 days, we went from the Ravens being a Super Bowl favorite or second or third best odds to be in the Super Bowl to this team might be lucky to make the playoffs if Lamar Jackson's hurt because they're 1-3 now. Their schedule is brutal coming up. And if they have to play those games without Lamar Jackson, they may not make the playoffs. 6 days. We went from Super Bowl to lucky to make the playoffs. If that doesn't tell you why I love the NFL. And I know college is like that too. But for the most part, I mean, college is like that now. It wasn't like that 5 years ago. It's like any given Saturday is all over again with college. But the one thing that's frustrating about it is how the fan bases act. Because in 6 days, you go from this to this. And when you're winning, the fans never want to fire the coach, right? Nobody was calling for John Harbaugh to be fired after they crushed Cleveland and scored 80 points in their first 2 weeks. But I guarantee you, in 6 days, if you ever wonder, how long does it take for a coach that's beloved by their fans to want them to be fired? It can take 6 days. Now, I'm going to do something. I'm going to go to X, where everybody's opinion they think matters. And I'm going to put in John Harbaugh. Here we go. John Harbaugh is a blank NFL head coach. Okay. Here we go. John Harbaugh after this season. Here's a picture of him working for Taco Bell. I don't care what anyone says. This is a reflection of John Harbaugh. Yeah, I've seen enough. We're not winning the Super Bowl this year. On to the next. Fire John Harbaugh and Zach Orr. Offensive play calls horrible. Defensive plays calls atrocious. John Harbaugh still has that look on his face. Clean the house. I can't deal with this shit anymore. Clean the house. I can't deal with this shit anymore. With a GIF. You know what a GIF is? It's a little tiny video that's attached to a post. The GIF that this Ravens fan decided to use to demonstrate his frustration was Derrick Henry slamming his helmet on the ground. The irony is that Derrick Henry slammed his helmet on the ground. This clip that was used was from one game ago when Derrick Henry fumbled the football at the very end of the game, and it allowed the Ravens to lose the football game. And the irony is that John Harbaugh didn't fumble the ball. Derrick Henry fumbled the ball, and the Ravens lost because of the fumble. And you're using the GIF of Derrick Henry being mad that he forfeited the game to say, fire John Harbaugh, which tells me everything. 6 days ago, the Ravens were a Super Bowl favorite. Now, people are asking for their head coach and GM to be fired. The Bears just blocked the field goal to win over the Raiders, and the Bears get the win. Caleb Williams gets a road win, and the Raiders are exactly who we thought they were, and they didn't let him off the hook. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But we let them off the hook. And I think for Chicago, they're just happy that they didn't let him off the hook. Max Crosby couldn't be more upset. Kicker's upset. And it's so funny because they showed this clip of after CJ Stroud and the Texans beat the Bears week 1, that CJ Stroud was talking to Caleb Williams on the sideline, and Caleb Williams was like, basically looking at him like, why are you like trying to, big brother me? That's what people in the comments said. Like, look at Caleb's face. He's like, clearly like, why are you trying to big brother me? How about this? Because I've gone to the playoffs every single year I've been in the NFL. Because I won Rookie of the Year, you didn't. Because my team wins double-digit games every year, yours won 4. I'm sorry, but I don't care how you feel on a personal level. A little bit of humility, like you shouldn't think it's that weird. Because at the end of the day, all CJ Stroud was trying to do is make you feel like he feels like, hey, it's my responsibility to, make other quarterbacks feel comfortable, young quarterbacks. Like, it's funny because people from the outside go, dude, you were just a rookie last year, or you were just a rookie 2 years ago. But when you're actually in the NFL and you're going through it, it's kind of like when you turn, 30 years old and you meet somebody that's 25 years old, right? And they think that they're fully grown up and you're like, oh my God, no. And they're like, you're only 5 years older than me. Why are you acting like you're, you know what I mean? Like, it's not about you. It's not about me thinking you're a kid. It has nothing to do with you. Like, get out of that defensive mindset. It's simply about how much growth you do from 25 to 30. Like, when I go back and look at 25, it's like, "Oh my god, I wasn't even the same person." I'm a completely different person. When you go back and Bo Nix, even in 1 year, he was interviewed this offseason, and he goes, "Whatever I told you last season, none of it was true. I was just trying to memorize the playbook. I didn't know the why behind the plays, the intent of the plays. I was just being, a fire hose, the playbook through fire hose." He's like, "Now I understand the why behind the plays. Like, I can actually coach up my receivers and tell them, 'Hey, I need you to do this. I need the timing to be like this because this is why this play works because everybody's playing a small role in a bigger picture.'" And he when it came out and just said, "Yeah, I knew nothing last year." But last year, of course, in the interviews, he didn't ever say that, and he carried himself like, he had everything under control. But the reality is you grow so much from year 1 to year 2 to year 3. Caleb Williams gets a win, block field goal. Rick, talk to me about it. Here he is coming into the studio right now. We got Rick.
Woo! Blocked field goal, baby. Bears win. The fit from last week works again.
Are you wearing that from now on? Oh, we lost Rick. Here he comes. And let me see. There he is.
Go.
Is this the fit from now on now?
This is the fit. I don't know what it is. It's the brown Bears hat, the Bears glasses, obviously, and then the long sleeve Bears tee. Dude, I'm here with friends, and it was awesome. I was screaming Etsy Witch. I was doing the fingers, the jazz fingers, and Joshua Blackwell for the Bears, number 39, comes through full stretch and blocks the field goal with his fingertips, and it was amazing. Vibes are high, baby.
Are you growing a mullet now?
I may grow a mullet depending on how it affects the Bears' wins.
I think you have to at least not shave until the Bears lose.
I'll never shave. I'll never shave. And this is the fit, guys. This is the fit from here on out. I added jeans and the white Adidas, so I think that may have to be added to it. But either way, the fit stays the same.
Caleb Williams, 22 for 37, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, only 38 yards on the ground from DeAndre Swift. How did you feel about the running game from the Bears today? And are you concerned moving forward with DeAndre Swift and the running attack? And how do you think Caleb Williams did?
Caleb Williams, decent. There was a lot of, Max Crosby was a problem the entire game. The right tackle was Theo Benedict, who is basically a rookie. It's his second year in the NFL. He was a rookie last year, got hurt, didn't play. He came in the first 2 quarters. Max Crosby made Theo Benedict his baby girl and got through every single block attempt. So Theo Benedict was later replaced by Trapillo, who's a rookie tackle, and Trapillo did much better. But Caleb Williams was harassed all day by Max Crosby. He made the plays that needed to be made, whether that was running the ball himself or passing it to Rome, which is huge. That connection is just growing, and it's getting stronger and better from him to Rome, to Kmet, what have you. That connection is growing. But Caleb Williams made the plays, but not an impressive outing by him whatsoever. But I will say he was under pressure a lot. In terms of DeAndre Swift, I can't stand him anymore. I'm not going to say our offensive line is perfect, but DeAndre Swift has got to be much, much better in the run game. I don't know exactly what it is. He had a couple good runs. But he's had in 4 games he's had 2 good quarters of football of running the ball. So it's not working with him. We gave the ball to Manungai a couple times, and he did what he could. it wasn't any better. He's still a rookie. He's a 7th rounder. He's still a rookie. It wasn't any better, but I don't know. I don't know. It just goes to show that Poles should have absolutely drafted a running back much earlier in the draft than he did. And it also shows that our defensive line is not good. Odengbo, Grady Jarrett, even Montez Sweat was struggling. Billings was doing really well in the run game, but they really got through our defensive line. Like, the defensive line is nothing to be afraid of if you're an NFL team against the Bears. So I don't know what this offseason has in store. I know it's only week 4, but the offseason has to be like, the draft has to be defensive lineman, another offensive lineman, and defensive lineman again. Like, it has to be an edge, and it has to be another defensive tackle. Like, if Poles doesn't do that and instead drafts another wide receiver or tight end, like, it's a bad draft. Like, but they exposed our defensive line, and they basically stopped the running game. So DeAndre Swift and the defensive line today were like the biggest culprits. They let up most of the bad plays, I would say, in this game. But it takes heroics at the end of the game, and this time it was Blackwell with a blocked kick. So a win's a win, baby. But the way the Bears are doing it, it's starting to become the cardiac Bears, where you're getting heart attacks at the end of the games.
Hey, at least you're getting wins at the end of the game. I know last year they were losing. What, they lost how many, like, away games in a row? It was like a
Yeah,
weird Eberflus stat where he's
yeah.
never won a road game. So
Yeah, it was a Sunday day game. It was whatever it was. It was like a Sunday away game.
at
However,
3
whatever it was.
o'clock, yeah. The common theme is Liam Cohen, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson. We have to keep in mind that when you join a new team, the culture setting, it all
Mhm.
takes time. The players to buy in, the playbook to start coming naturally, players to start moving off instinct and not thinking so much. We
Yeah.
saw the Patriots, the Jaguars, and the Bears have huge wins today. I mean, the Bears probably not so much because the Raiders have been struggling, but still a win, which is all that matters.
Yep.
Then the 49ers get beat by Jacksonville on the road. That was a culture setting win for Jacksonville. And
Yeah, that was crazy.
then Mike Vrabel's Patriots, 40 points on the Carolina Panthers. So I think we're seeing, and it's a great reminder, because whether it was Manning going to Denver's first season, Tom Brady with Tampa, they started 1-3. They were
Hmm.
5 or 1-3, and then Tom Brady's team was 5-6 or 6-5. And then they kind of started clicking and getting
Yeah.
going, and it's a long season. And when you start off 0-2, it's easy to feel like, oh, another season that's in the toilet and done.
Yep. Yep.
But it only takes 2 weeks for you to feel like we can go to the playoffs. And is
Yeah.
there a better example than 6 days ago, before Detroit and Baltimore played? We thought Baltimore was a serious contender for the Super Bowl, and now we're wondering if they're going to make the playoffs.
Hmm.
Mark Jackson is injured.
Yep.
They're 1-3, and they have a gauntlet of a schedule coming up, and
Yep.
it just shows you how quick things turn in the NFL. And at least for you and the Bears, you're on the winning side.
Yeah. Luckily, we were on the winning side, but I mean, Kansas City dominating the Ravens. I mean, we saw through the first 3 weeks twice in primetime that the Ravens defense is just not good this year. They are letting up way too many points to offenses that are well below what should be at least considered elite offenses, except for the Bills, right? Like that, the one against the Lions, you could make an argument that they're coming off a Bears win and that it shouldn't be that bad of a loss, but that defense is really bad for the Ravens. And to let the Kansas City Chiefs stomp all over you, like, there are going to be some serious concerns in terms of Ravens fans that are like, what are we doing defensively? Is it our coordinator? What, like, is it the players we have? Because I have heard a lot of chatter about some frustrations with Roquan Smith specifically. But it's not just Roquan Smith. It is the entire defense there in Baltimore that is just letting up too many yards, too many points in situations where you have to get stops. So the Ravens are definitely one of those teams where I kind of agree with you, where I'm like, are they going to even make the playoffs? I mean, they were 1-3 last year. They probably had, close losses as well. But in the fourth quarter against the Bills, being blown out by the Lions, and now being blown out by KC, it's kind of like, all right, what exactly is going on here? Ravens defense. Jacksonville getting the win against San Francisco, a little bit surprising, not going to lie, because that offense I know has been struggling. I don't know how Brian Thomas did in this game, but I know he's definitely been one of those guys where everyone's been wondering where his offensive output has been. But a little surprising in terms of that, because you got Salah there back in San Francisco. The defense has looked really good through the first 3 weeks, and then they lose to Jacksonville, whose offense has been nowhere near elite, but they get the win. Like you said, like you come out with a win in week 4, and now you're starting to kind of get that hype train back, regardless of your record. But San Francisco's got some issues as well to kind of deal with, but they're 3-1. So I think their issues are a lot less being freaked out about instead compared to like the Ravens, for example. So I'm still it's still a surprising win for the Jags, though.
Yeah, and there's just the identity of a lot of teams is different. Like the Eagles, they had a 7 or 8 point lead in the fourth quarter with like 7 minutes left, and that used to be when you could just hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley and the game would just be over.
Yep.
And every time they handed him the ball, he was getting blown up behind the line. So it's like they can't even run the football in Philly like they did last year, not even close.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are learning that they're going to have to win in a different way than they did last year. And some teams are figuring it out. Other teams are kind of stalling right now. And I think with Baltimore, it's very concerning because of how they're getting dominated in the trenches on both sides. They've given up 10 sacks on Lamar in the last 6 days. Now Lamar's hurt.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what's coming next. And then for Tampa Bay, like they lost, but you still feel so good about their loss because
it was a good loss. Yeah.
It was a great loss, and they had no Mike Evans. They had no Chris Godwin's first game back, but McMillan, they were down a lot of players on defense, and still, like Baker found a way to make it a game, even though they really the difference was that blocked punt for a touchdown. But it was a really good week 1. So congrats on the win.
Hell yeah.
Have fun. Thanks for checking back in.
Of course. And go Bears, KC. I know you feel a bit of relief as well. I feel a bit of relief after that game because I was like, how are the Bears losing to the Raiders after they just got embarrassed and they haven't really been impressive? But any given Sunday, we say that on the show a lot. Any given Sunday, somebody can win, but I'm just glad the Bears got it and were able to do it in like a heart attack fashion. Like, I'm not happy about that. I wish they dominated more, but again, a win is a win is a win. Kyle, thanks for letting me on. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go try to watch some Sunday Night Football.
Hell yeah. Go Packers.
Boo, Packers. Go Cowboys. See ya.
See ya. All right. So Rick checking in, happy for him that he got his win. And a win is a win, is a dub, is a dub. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to close this one down. We got Sunday Night Football coming up. The Green Bay Packers and the freaking Dallas Cowboys. Thanks for everybody that tuned into the games. We've been here since the game that was in Ireland, right? Was that where it is? Ireland? Yeah, the Irish Jig. It was in Ireland. What city was that in? Ireland. Let me know. I forgot the name of the city, but Dublin. Anyway, a long day of streaming, but you guys have been here for the whole thing. So thank you guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up or the like button, and we'll get ready for Sunday Night Football. Waiting all day for Sunday night.